Hi guys, so April is Jazz Month and in my elementary music room, we talk a lot about jazz. Specifically, one of my favorite songs to do is, no surprise, What a Wonderful World by Louis Armstrong. This is such a great piece because first of all, a lot of the kids have already heard it, so it's a little easier to introduce if it's the first time you're ever introducing jazz. Secondly, it is super famous, so it's, helpful for them to know who it's by and all of those things. And third, it's just amazing and has such a good message and is just so good. So good. How many times can I say good before we even get into this video? So in this video, we're going to talk about 6 different ways that you can use What a Wonderful World in your elementary music classroom. These will go over a couple of different grade levels, so you can use them with like literally anybody, which is great when you just need something to get you through the week because it's the end of the school year, or if it's the beginning of the school year when you're watching this, whatever is fine. But we're going to talk about 6 different ways to teach What a Wonderful World to your elementary music students. Now, before we get started, I do want to tell you that I have a free jazz resource that you can get by clicking the link down below in the description, and it is so much fun. It is like a March Madness, but not with the words because those are copyrighted, but it's like a March Madness kind of bracket where it has 16 different jazz musicians and you play 2 videos of whoever's next to each other, and then the students get to vote over who they like the best. Whoever wins moves on to the semifinals and then the quarterfinals and then the championship until you figure out who is the best jazz musician out of all of them. This is so much fun. I prefer it with my older students. They enjoyed it so much and they just love to be able to vote, and they'll kind of discuss like, oh no, this was better because of this or that, and it really helps get their brains moving. So if you are interested in that little freebie, then I will leave the link down below. So much fun. It's on Google Slides. I don't think I said that. And yeah, so with that, let's hop right on into What a Wonderful World. Now, number 1 is definitely talk about Louis Armstrong. Louis Armstrong is a huge figure in jazz and in music in general, and he is so important to the creation of jazz and kind of the evolution of jazz. He was present for so much of jazz's growth, and right like at its birth he was in New Orleans, and then he was in New York, and he's played with everyone, and he's a really famous figure. On top of that, you may not know this, but at least in Georgia he is part of our state standards because the 5th graders learn about the Harlem Renaissance, so I love to include him especially in the older grades for that purpose, as well as just because I feel like they should know Louis Armstrong. Also, he has that really distinctive voice, so I think it's helpful to put a face with a name and kind of a story so the students understand who he is, and when they hear that they're like, that's Louis. Now, as far as learning about Louis, you can just tell the students about him. I used a Google Slides lesson that I created about Louis Armstrong, so I will leave that down below. It is definitely geared towards older students, but I have also used some books about Louis Armstrong. The one that we liked a lot in 1st and 2nd grade was called Just a Lucky So-and-So, the story of Louis Armstrong, and that is by Lisa Klein Ranson. So I will leave that link down below, and also the little activity that we did on Google Slides with my upper grades. All right, number 2, this is my favorite of all the lessons, and this is one that I like to do with 2nd and 3rd grade. So we listen to the song and put the different things they talk about in orders. So it says like trees of green and red roses too, and then it says clouds of white and skies of blue and all the different things that he's saying, and we put them in order. I like to do this usually in person. I cut out little like pictures of each of the different things and the kids put them in order. If I'm feeling really ambitious, we might glue them down. But let's be real, I hardly ever feel that ambitious. Usually we just put them in order and then put them back in the baggies, and the next class uses them. This year I'm filming this in 2021, so that was obviously not an option. So instead we put it in order with a Google Slides activity. So I have like a little slide, and then it has each of the different things as pictures and cards, and they drag them into the correct order. It also has the song on the actual slide, so the kids can listen to just that piece if they need to listen to it a couple of times in order to get them in the correct order. So this is a really good way to get the kids like actually listening to the song really well. So this is included in my What a Wonderful World Google Slides activity lesson. So I will leave that link down below as well. And it includes that. It also includes some writing prompts and talks about Louis Armstrong, and pretty much everything that you could possibly need is in there. It talks about instruments and just all of the different things. So I'll leave that link down below. All right, number 3 is learning the sign language. When we went on Zoom for like an entire year, I turned to movement even more than normal. Now, if you've been around this channel for any amount of time, you know that I like to add movements to everything. I really do. But specifically with 4th grade this year, I really looked at some sign language. And so we learned the sign language to the Star Spangled Banner, and then to Lift Every Voice and Sing. And now we're currently learning the sign language to What a Wonderful World. This is really, really great if your kids are on Zoom because there's just that lag, so they can't really sing. And a lot of kids don't feel comfortable singing at home with like their siblings or their cousins, you know, around in the room, or they might be at like a daycare or something like that. And it's just a little bit weird. Or if you're in person and you can't sing, this is also a really great thing to do because these students can't sing, but they can move their hands. I love using actions for everything, and having it be the sign language just makes it a little bit more meaningful because it actually means something. Look at that. I will leave a link to the sign language video that we've been referencing down below. The next one is to learn even more jazz songs. So in my classroom, we've learned many jazz songs, including A Tisket a Tasket, Blue Skies, A Train, and a whole lot more. One of my favorites is Blue Skies, and one of my favorite lessons is to trace the melody, really specifically with the younger kids of the song, and then to work on keeping that backbeat. So this one goes, blue skies smiling at me, nothing but blue skies do I see. Blue birds singing a song, nothing but blue birds all day long. Then along with that, you can keep the backbeat. I love to pair Blue Skies with What a Wonderful World because they have a really similar theme. Blue Skies is all about, you know, everything is great and happy and there's all these things that are awesome. And What a Wonderful World is also like, hey, look at all these really awesome things. Blue Skies is really fun. The version by Ella Fitzgerald is my favorite, and there's a lot of scatting in there, which can lead to really fun discussions about scatting. Next up is some writing. So especially if your school is like wanting you to do more writing. My school tried that last year and then we went online and it was just like a hot mess. But anyway, if you're wanting to do more writing in your classroom, there's 2 main writing prompts that I like to do with What a Wonderful World, kind of based on the age groups of the kids. One of them is what makes our world wonderful. This is good for little kids because they can even just draw pictures of things that do make the world wonderful. So what are just things that you would include if you were writing this song? Put them there. The second one I like to ask the kids is, what could we do to make the world wonderful? I love asking this question because it helps the kids get involved and think like, oh, hey, I actually can do things that will benefit the world, and I should make an effort to try to do things that are going to benefit the world. These writing prompts are included in that What a Wonderful World Google Slides lesson that I linked down below, but you could also just do them, you know, on paper. Remember when we did things on paper? Crazy. All right, and last up are some books. So I already mentioned the Louis Armstrong book, but these are specifically about What a Wonderful World. I will link 2 down below. There's one that I have and then one that a friend has. Both of them are just the words that are illustrated. Both of them are beautiful. Both of them are amazing. So I will link both those down below in case you are curious. This is a really good way to introduce the song, especially you can play it and then flip through the pages, or you can read it and then show them the song, or just however you want to do it. All right, friends, so there you go. 6 different activities to go with What a Wonderful World. Don't forget to grab your freebie down below, and all of the links for the videos and for the products, and including the What a Wonderful World Google Slides lessons, which are all those like really colorful ones that popped up here on the screen. All of those will be linked down below. Thank you so much for watching, and let me know in the comments, do you have used What a Wonderful World? What's your favorite jazz song? Are there other jazz songs I didn't mention that you love to use? Because I would love to steal some. Leave those things in the comments, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!